You have now been granted access to the Global Entry Podcast. Enjoy your experience.
Man, Ace.
What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
Man, I'm great, man. Welcome to the Global Entry Podcast.
Man, thanks for having me.
Man, as the great poet Sean Corey Carter says, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. So I appreciate you coming here to do this, brother. We in the A, down in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You are the creator, and the creator of the AceVane kind of classic cartoon voiceover series and episodes, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool. But for those of our listeners who don't know who this brother is, let's take a look at one of his episodes.
All right, cool.
What's great, T?
You tell me what's great, nigga. What the fuck going on?
Oh, hold up. What's
I
wrong?
don't know, bro. Word on the block is nigga saw you eating the bowling cap and crunch and shit, my nigga. So what's going on there?
I don't know what you
Oh,
talking
you don't
about.
know what's going on?
Nah, bro.
Okay, well, the roof of your mouth should be fine,
the
right?
roof of my mouth.
Say castor oil.
Why I gotta say
Cause
that?
it got a hard C in it, nigga, and you can't say.
All right, man. So you're not from Atlanta, right? Where are you originally from?
I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, shout out to Duval.
Yeah,
I know about
Duval.
Duval County. I went to FAMU, so I already
yeah.
know all about Duval County. What's that? 904.
904.
All day.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, how did you end up in Atlanta?
Man, I moved to Atlanta probably about 5 years ago now. It was to pursue just a career in entertainment, basically, primarily in music.
Okay.
So, and then everything just grew from there. But yeah, it's just, I came here with nothing for real. So I just came here just trying to pursue my dreams.
Right. So your background is in music. A lot of people know you now as the creator of these cartoon series and things like that, where you do these voiceovers.
Exactly.
It's super dope. But your background is in music, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, man. So when you came here, you said you had no job, no car, anything. So what did you do to survive?
Man, I had to get it. I was hustling, selling beats. I was doing stuff online then that garnered some attention. So I used that to sell like T-shirts and just doing anything I could to make ends meet at the time. And then, I eventually got a job. But when I first got up here, from day one, I was going to all the open mics that I could hit, and I was just networking as hard as I can.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's just trying to get it.
Sure. Now, so you was really just grinding and hustling, and so do you have any formal training in writing or any type of editing as far as these cartoon series are concerned?
Absolutely not. Everything that I learn or do is self-taught.
Wow.
So yeah, it's just all kind of like instinct. So I have never taken a class. I haven't even looked up a YouTube video on how to do stuff. If I just figure it out as I go.
So where does that come from? Is there something in your childhood that you were just kind of in that space always? Do your parents reflect on certain things that you used to do when you were younger?
Yeah, I didn't realize it when I was younger, but we were poor as shit when we were younger. So so I was playing with stuff that wasn't toys, like old medicine bottles as action figures and stuff, and just being creative as I could with what I had. So I didn't even realize what I was doing at the time or how I was building my brain. Yeah. So I was just playing. So
that's pretty cool, man. Now, so from a music standpoint, when did you really start to kind of delve into that?
I've always been interested in music. It's just my family, since day one, it's music always playing, music videos, always in the background, always playing some Prince or something. Yeah. So I always was in love with music. I got serious with it when I was in high school, and I pursued it heavily when I graduated.
Right.
And I got into making beats and stuff after I realized nobody's making beats I liked.
Right.
So that was just something else I taught myself, and then it just like grew from there.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's dope. Now, fast forward. Now, this time that you were telling us about you moving to Atlanta, that was your second stint in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, the first time I moved to Atlanta, I actually had a deal. It was with some investors. I came up. It was the time of the recession that was happening back in like '08.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't pan out how I planned it.
Yeah.
So I ended up because my parents they had lost the home we had.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back to make sure everything was good with the family. And and then I ended up coming back several years later.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what the first stint was. Didn't turn out. It was like 6 months the first time, so I don't even know if that count for real.
Right. I mean, I think it's so important because people just see all the positives and see the 162,000 followers or something like that on Instagram,
Yeah.
or something like that. And they think, oh man, he's doing his thing, but they don't see those peaks and valleys,
Exactly.
and that those trials and tribulations that get you to that point. So that's why I think it's really important to kind of share that type of stuff.
Yeah, nothing. It's absolutely not overnight. It's a lot of stuff that goes on way before you get to where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
And stuff still be going on, but
All
you know what
the
I'm
time.
saying? It depends on how determined you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got back to Atlanta about 2014, was looking for a job, hustling, selling beats, and you said you was making shirts and graphics at one point.
Yeah. I was making
Okay.
graphics. Man, I was doing like, man, the wings you see on people when they die and on the obituaries and stuff.
Yeah.
I was doing that. I was doing everything I
wow.
could make money.
Yeah,
Like I put a lot of wings on niggas. RIP though, but
Yeah.
So it was. It's just anything I could, man. Like I came here I was just refusing to go back to Jacksonville again.
Yeah.
Refusing to fail.
Yeah, just really, and then something that's kind of seems to be a big theme is like betting on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you stay in the music lane that whole time, or you were selling graphics and stuff like that?
Yeah, I
like-
stayed. I got a little job. Eventually, got a job to make ends meet, but I was still focused on the music and networking. All that. It was really no sleeping for real. Like, but I ended up like networking online and meeting people that were and I ended up working with Safari from Love and Hip Hop.
Okay.
I ended up producing a whole mixtape for him.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he introduced me to some people. I ended up producing for other people on Love and Hip Hop.
Okay.
So it was just that kind of stuff, and then that one thing takes you one place, and then you start doing some other stuff. It takes you another place. I ended up working with a company called My Mixtapes for a while.
Sure, we all know My Mixtape.
Yeah. So and then it didn't work out with them, so I went my separate ways. But yeah, I mean, like it's just working any angle I could get. Like if I'm not taking anything for granted. If I get an opportunity, I'm actually
Sure.
I'm gonna check it out at least.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say, oh, I ain't doing that.
Yeah. You gotta test it out by trial and error for
Yeah.
the most part.
Exactly.
So when did you start to like build your online presence? Like, was it via Twitter? Was it what were the other?
I started really like it's been a long time as far as like me just realizing, but on Twitter is where I probably started taking it more serious when that actually launched, and then I just didn't know how to actually package it yet.
Right.
People could see my sense of humor and things like that, and they actually got fans off Twitter to check the music out back then.
Yeah.
But I learned how to package it when things like Vine and Instagram started launching, because it was easier to put out videos. People could actually hear what you're saying and stuff. Like I never was that savvy with YouTube, so I never got to be a YouTuber.
Right.
I mean, I know it now, but like it's just easier to do it via like Vine and Instagram. And Instagram actually just, to me, it's the easiest way to start stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And so where did you start to kind of do like the branch out into different things? Like you said you did a show called The Pull Up.
Yeah, the pull up, that was with my mixtapes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they basically hired me to develop some content for them. They and actually do what I was doing for myself over there for them, help them grow their online presence. And I mean, like it just that's one of the things I did learn, that if when you start working with companies, they kind of sometimes they'll try to water you down, or it actually just ended up, to me, it just ended up being kind of trash, because you know what I'm saying, like they had too many people that was involved that didn't know what they was doing, trying to put their 2 cents in, and it's just a bunch of bullshit, to be honest.
Yeah,
I'm allowed to curse on here? Okay. So like, yeah, it was just like it's something that I went through. I had to learn. It was a good opportunity to learn stuff, but it wasn't. It does show me what I want going forward, because I think that's a big part of, like, we get so caught up being an artist sometimes, we think we could take anything that comes to us. Yeah. So like, and then when we don't trust that we know what we're doing, we just get caught up in all the BS. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then don't actually focus on what's important, which is what got you there,
Right.
which is the artistry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Crazy. And so you did you tell me that you met like Megan Thee Stallion before she was like Megan Thee
yeah,
Stallion?
I met Megan Thee Stallion before she was a superstar.
Yeah,
It was
that was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, she was and I think we were in Texas.
Yeah.
And I was just walking past doing an episode of the show.
Yeah.
And I asked her if she wanted to do a few questions, and she was cool as shit.
Yeah.
So like, I got to meet her on her way up.
Sure.
Yeah. So like, yeah, she's real cool. And the interview was actually funny as shit. So.
And you talked about also kind of using these different avenues as a means to kind of bring attention to your music or the different things that you're doing. Like, is there a risk associated with that? Because you see a few people that kind of take that route, you know. But are there any risks associated with that, or like what was your thought process on that?
As far as going one way and funneling the people,
Yeah.
It could be a risk, because I don't think it's a risk. It's kind of like people have to, I guess you got to slowly introduce them to other stuff you can do, because a lot of people don't believe you can rub your stomach and pat your head at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or if they are introduced to you one way, it's hard for them to move you out that box into something else. But the thing that I learned that helps me is really just being myself in all my content across the board. Because like a lot of when people think of, oh, you do music, or if you do this type of music, you got to be this type of way. Yeah. But I don't think that's the case. I think you should just be yourself. And like, because a lot of rappers be trying to be so cool to the point, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you can't have a sense of humor because you out here, you know, doing this and that, like so. But it's really just taking your cool off and just being yourself.
Okay. Yeah. So one of my favorite artists is Malcolm Gladwell, and he talks about in his book The Tipping Point about, you know, at what point did something either go viral or, you know, just hit that point where it was ubiquitous, it was everywhere, right? So what was that point for you where you started doing the different voiceovers that kind of just took off? Like, tell me about that.
The first one I did that took off just like organically and went crazy was one I did about O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson.
It was just I was on the way to the gym, and it was just a funny thought I had in the car. So, and I was, because it was on the news that he was getting released, and I was like, what will O.J. be up to if he got released? And I was like, oh, he probably gonna be talking about what kind of hoes he got coming over. He got a glove line coming out or something. Just a bunch of ignorance. So, and then I didn't think it was gonna do what it did. It just went crazy. And
so, then, like, where did you see it at? Like, where was it? Was all over the place?
Yeah, it was all over the place. Vlad posted it, and then I saw I think Michael Blackson, and then Snoop Dogg reposted it. That was the first time Snoop Dogg reposted. So like it was. After Snoop reposted it, I was like, oh, this shit is actually getting seen. Yeah. So, and then it took off from there. And that actually introduced me to those other opportunities like my mixtapes and things like that.
So did you, so how did you take advantage of those opportunities and try to monetize them?
Okay, so when I got those, anytime I got like some attention, I try to like use it to either funnel it towards the music, which it did work, or I actually started like with Michael is a character I made called Michael McTrap, who Michael
Tell
McDonald.
us about that, right?
Okay, so that's Michael McDonald singing trap music.
Right.
So, and I thought it was funny because I always see him covering old school Motown tracks. So it was just in my head one day, thinking that it'd be funny to hear him sing some Rich Homie Quan back then, like it was just a funny idea. I did it, and it the Shade Room took it, and it took off.
Okay.
So and then after I started seeing traffic come in, of course I tried to take that and move it towards the music, and also move it towards. I made some Michael McTrap T-shirts, and stuff. And I mean that's where you just try to generate a little bit of money from that.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, like you're just really just trying to keep people engaged and keep them interested in what you're doing.
Wow. So what's the effort and the push like to make things like the Shade Room and other platforms pick your stuff up, or is it just happen again? Is it just a tipping point? Does it happen organically, or is it something that you have to continuously round the clock push?
In the beginning, it was trying to get people to see it, but I figured if you do it and you just doing it because you feel like it's actually something funny, then it's gonna organically grow by itself if it's good. I really think that if it's good, it's gonna get seen.
Okay.
So and that's just proven. Like when you try to force something, a lot of times it don't happen. Like I mean with Michael McTrap, I didn't know the Shade Room was gonna really repost it.
Yeah.
They got tagged in it. They actually liked the post and then they reposted it. So I had no idea that they would ever have done that back then.
Okay. Now, were you prepared for prime time? But when that happened, were you ready to go, or did you have to scramble?
I had to go and make a Michael McTrap IG page because my tag was cut off on it.
Okay.
So and that happens a lot. I don't know why pages do that. Like the O.J. Simpson one got posted on some other page on Facebook and it's got 1 million views, but you do all this to market your page.
Yeah.
And I mean, if they could still get the views, but they actually cut my tag off of that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So like it's so with the Michael McTrap situation, I just made a whole page for him so that traffic could go there. So if people were looking for the rest, and then after that, after I netted them, I just kept making that type of content for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at what point did you transition to like characters, like cartoon characters? You've taken some of our most cherished
and then fucked them up.
So where did that start at? At what point? Like was this 16?
Yeah, around like 2016, 2017, I started messing with more and more cartoons.
Yeah.
The one that before I did cartoons before. But I started doing it more in 2016, 2017.
Okay.
Because I actually started probably like in 2013.
All right.
But in 2016, 2017, I just started messing around with it more. Sure. And I actually realized that I can make more stories myself.
Yeah.
So it was easier than just doing like regular voiceovers, and I could get more jokes in.
Yeah.
So that's I just started building around that and kept going from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so what was the first character that just kind of went crazy?
The one that went real crazy was the one I did with Lex Luthor and Superman.
Yeah, man.
Because it's this old Superman show where Lex Luthor is drawn he looked kind of like a
brown.
Yeah, he looked brown.
Yeah.
He kind of got black features. I was well, he looked like a dude, so I'm like a black dude. So why he don't ever really I'm gonna see what it sounds like if he talked like me. Yeah. On a regular day and then just put a stupid ass scenario together with Superman pulling up on him. asking him about if he sent like a lube pit the lowest.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I just did it. Like I was in the middle of moving when I did it, and it just grew from there for real. So when after I posted it, I didn't expect that to go crazy.
Right. I was so surprised, but not surprised because that's one of my favorite voiceovers. And I was surprised to find out that was you, bro. That's crazy. It's really creative. So like, you know, if you had to pick one of your favorites, you've done thousands of these, right?
Yeah.
If you had to pick, what's your favorite joint?
My favorite one? It's a few. I like doing the Bullwinkle ones, man.
Really?
Yeah, cause I like to play off how it's the narrator and stuff. Like,
Right.
and I really feel like it could go either way with those.
Okay.
So like those are always fun for me to do. But I can't pinpoint the one because every time I make one, I'm gonna think it's funny. The funniest thing I ever did for probably like 2 days, and I'll be like, that shit ain't funny no more. Then I make another one.
Okay. So it's funny that you bring that up.
Yeah.
So what's your creative process like, man? I think you told me earlier, like you don't write this stuff down.
Oh,
like,
no, I don't.
So you out here, the Biggie and Jay-Z cartoon voiceovers, man.
Nah, I don't write.
All right.
Yeah, but
man.
it's really like it's sporadic and it's kind of chaotic. To be honest, if somebody else was to witness what I'm doing, they probably would be like, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah.
But I don't write because I want it to be
Organic.
I want it to feel like when you watch it, you feel like you're watching a real conversation.
Yeah.
You feel like it could go. You don't know where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
If I was to write it, I feel like I overthought it, and I don't like art when it's overthought because it go back to feeling forced.
Yeah, you dropping gems, bro.
Yeah.
So like, you come up with these concepts and you like, I mean, are you driving? Are you at the grocery store and be like, oh, yo, I got a dope one? And how does that work?
I think I just collect a lot of stuff by osmosis. Sometimes when I say stuff, like
so you don't even like do a record on your phone?
No, I don't like when I'm actually recording the skit. It's really just whatever's about to come out my head because I genuinely don't know what I'm about to say until I say it. So and it's just like talking to myself. So I'm going back and forth.
Yeah.
And then like sometimes I might do more than one take. And then I take whatever the funniest part was, but I genuinely don't know what the hell I'm about to say next when I'm doing it, and I like that because it's surprising, or I don't know what I'm gonna flip it into, or what I think it all happens right then. So it's no organization to it or nothing. Like it's absolute chaos.
Wow. Because you took Spider-Man and Spider-Man just be saying reckless stuff.
Yeah.
To is it Mary Jane?
Yeah, Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Like that came from like it's an old clip of that cartoon going around.
Yep.
Mary is she dive off the building.
Yeah.
And then several people kept sending it to me saying, please do this, please do this, please do this. So I took it and I just put the words on it, really.
Yeah.
And then and after that I just kept coming up with stupid, because I really feel like it's just the most. If you watch that series, it's just the most ridiculous version of what some dudes might go through to the extreme, but it's just saying all the wrong shit. So.
Yeah. So like, how often do you take things that people send you in your DM? And how often does that happen?
Man, I get stuff every day, and
really?
I rarely take stuff. Yeah, so it's like because I don't want to I don't like being predictable.
Okay.
So if people think I'm about to do something, I don't want to do it.
Okay.
Like if people think I should voice over something, I don't want to do it, because like if you think it, then I know it's like 40 other people that think it. But with the Spider-Man one, it was just like, okay, that kind of like. I actually thought it would be funny, so I did it, and then I just kept it growing from there.
And so, is it a team of y'all, or you do all these voiceovers yourself?
No, it's only me.
Wow.
So it's me doing all the voices. If there's somebody else, it always says featuring somebody.
Okay.
So like if you see like a AceVane on there or something, featuring AceVane, that's the only time you'll see it with some other people.
Okay.
So like, but yes, other than that, it's always me.
All right. And a lot of people, especially in your position, they got all these followers and they producing dope content, right? Mm-hmm. but they're not monetizing it, and they're not making money. Like, what was the turning point for you where you started to monetize? I see now you're attaching, I believe it's a pizza company, to to some of your sketches and your episodes and things like that. Like, what was the turning point for you where you were actually started to make money from this cartoon episodic series that you're doing?
Yeah. Now, the intent was to always like turn it into something to where I can do something I love, and the only way you can really do something you love on a full-time basis is if you're making money.
Right.
So that's the reason you want to accumulate the attention. But the turning point probably was, you mean like as far as when I started making money?
Like, when you started making money, at the same time you just saw the numbers of your page going up.
Oh, yeah.
People kept reposting. Like, what was the turning point where it was like, yo, this is gonna, and again, I think it's so important to talk about this because your original craft, you know what I'm saying, is music.
Exactly.
And you always want to use some of the exposure that you garner to create attention for your music.
Exactly.
But sometimes the universe has different plans for you, right?
You're absolutely right about that.
So now, even though you're still doing music,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, you are getting so much attention and traffic on the cartoon and episode series.
Like my aha moment.
Yeah, well, like, your craft is music, and you want to continue to use your platform to take attention to your music, but the universe has something, a different plan for you, and the traction that you're getting with the cartoon series, like, how does that, like, how do you process something like that?
Okay, well, I think the way I process it is that you can't be foolish and hard-headed when stuff comes to you.
Yeah.
So like if something comes to you and it's something like you actually like doing, like I just love creating, period.
Yeah.
As long as it's something cool, I'm gonna keep doing it. Like I'm gonna do it as long as I love it. Like
Sure.
So like I still like this, and I like it as much as I like doing the music.
Yeah.
So but if it opens up doors for me, I mean all that could still be spun back around to something else I want to do later on.
Absolutely.
So I'm not the one to shun off opportunities.
Yeah, that was a smart man. So,
Yeah.
Smart man. Now, so you recently got like a DM from a pretty well-known, famous black entertainer / comedian, right?
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about that.
Well, this is the one who pushed me to make sure I start actually writing stuff instead of was Robert Townsend.
Okay.
Like he told me to write my first script.
A goat.
Yeah. So that
Really
was
goat.
Yeah, and he encouraged me, like, cause I never wrote a script before either.
Yeah.
So that was something I learned right then, and that was about like a year ago. And him doing that for me prepared me for another opportunity I got to actually write on the show. I got to write for the show called Sherman Showcase.
Okay.
And if I didn't have that experience or take advantage of him, that homework he gave me,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been prepared for the actual opportunity that did pay me.
Sure.
So like it was and making that network with the people at Sherman Showcase.
Wow.
So I mean you gotta really like just hone in on what the universe is pushing you.
Yeah. No, good to hear. Yeah, I think that's so important, and that's key, man. Like, again, that was something that you kind of walked up to that threshold, and you were like, look, I don't write.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any kind of trepidation or pushback at first, like when he was like, man, I want you to do? Did y'all call or y'all just DMing?
He started off just sending me a DM because he commented on the post. Snoop Dogg had reposted it. He liked it. Then he actually found me. Then that's why I always had obnoxious ass tags on there.
Yeah.
But so he found me, and then he actually commented on there. I was like, oh shit, that's Robert Townsend. What's up, man? And then after that, he DM'd me, and then he eventually called me, and then we started chopping it up.
Right.
And he kind of mentored me into.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was real cool. It's a real cool experience. I've been watching it since I was a kid. So
yeah, man. But again, like when you talk about like things that you had this philosophy on your style, like I don't write stuff down.
Yeah.
A lot of times, creatives, but just people in general who are kind of embarking on these new different paths and things like that, it's really hard for them to accept mentorship. but you had a GOAT, if you will, reaching out to you and saying, hey, I understand your philosophy is that you don't write stuff down, but I'm telling you it's going to be beneficial to you to add to your repertoire.
Exactly.
Like, what made you, what is it about you that made you listen to him instead of being like, man, I'm doing my thing already, not writing, I don't even do
it's
that.
because it's fucking Robert Townsend. But not like it'd be ignorant.
I mean, but a lot of people don't listen to, you got people, Jay-Z tried to mentor. Who in the right mind won't listen to Jay-Z or even Meek Mill and other guys that are successful? A lot of people just don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think what I'm trying to say is it takes a special person, whether you recognize it or not, to not only accept that critique and then turn it into a skill set. And then it paid off for you. So tell me a little bit of just kind of about that thought process.
Yes, I mean, to me, if it's somebody who has had success in the industry, I mean, because this is a brand new industry to me, period. So I'm ecstatic if anybody sees that I can come in and being successful. Yeah. So I mean, like all of their information can only enhance what I'm bringing to the table. So so if they say, hey, you should work on this and this. This is the orthodox way of doing it. Yeah. And I can I mean, it's just gonna help the evolution. That's all it is. So I mean, I'm always open to critiques from people that are actually proven in the industry.
Dope.
Yeah, so that's AceVane also is a mentor. So he he helps me, he points me in directions to make sure that I'm on point with stuff, like when it comes to pitching ideas or shows and getting prepared for that. Okay. So it's it definitely is something that you got to be open to, especially when you're going into a brand new field. Sure. Like, and then you just use it.
Especially a field where, like, a lot of people, I mean, writing, and we dare to call it comedic writing, but just writing, period, that's such a territorial, industry. And with you not having, formal writing, training and things like that, it can people can get real standoffish with you. Have you encountered any of that at all?
No, not yet.
Okay, good. That's
great. So I'm fortunate that I haven't gotten anything but good feedback so far. I do know, like, when it's time to handle the business part, and they say we need this in writing. I mean, that's just something I got to do. Yeah. But when it comes to, like, I guess coming up with the ideas, it's still gonna be the same process. It just becomes the tedious part of, because, like, once, like, and that's a reason why I don't do stand up, because I feel like I love stand up, I love the craft, but I can't do sets. I can't do the same set constantly, because to me, I'm gonna get bored if I'm not entertaining myself. I don't feel like I'm entertaining nobody else. Right. So, like, it's I can only imagine, like, how somebody, like, let's use an example, like 50 Cent doing it in the club. Everybody loves in the club, but he's doing it his whole career. Right. He probably got another song he loved way better, but even though in the club generated a lot of fucking money, you know what I'm saying? So I just, that's the only reason, like, I wouldn't. That's the only reason why I don't, like, it just feels like forced after that, and that's just me.
Right, and then after it feels forced, then you're like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. That makes a lot of good sense. It's so important that people understand what their passion is, and then the next step is, how do you monetize that?
Exactly.
Right? And you've done that and are still in the process of doing it and doing it well.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like, with these characters, did you receive any pushback? Most of the comments and feedback that you get that I've read is pretty good, but have you received any pushback from, like, taking, Spider-Man, or I think you started off kind of doing the Ninja Turtles? And come on, man.
Fortunately, like, Warner Brothers or Disney has not come after me yet, so I'm real lucky. I think we'll
edit that out.
Yeah.
They're gonna see this and be like,
No, well, actually, so I mean, I haven't gotten any
any fans of the shows has been like, dude, Spider-Man would never say that.
Nah, they actually love it.
He would never call Mary Jane a bitch.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly, but no, everybody love it.
Stupid bitch.
A stupid bitch, like every fucking thing that can go wrong is gonna go wrong.
Man,
so they kind of respect it. Like I guess like, and this is me going into my nerd bag. So you got these when you talking about comic books, they always have the multiverses.
Yeah.
People are starting to like put me in my own universe. So they already know like all this shit over here is fucked up. So don't even try to like they're just accepting that this is not canon to anything they already know about their favorite characters.
Exactly.
So they're just letting it slide.
So,
and enjoying.
I mean, you were doing these pretty early, for the most part, more than earlier than everybody else. Would it be safe to say that you're the pioneer of this cartoon voiceover game?
I mean, I was doing it a long time ago. I just wasn't the popular one doing it. So I mean,
you've had a lot of people that kind of mimic this stuff, steal your edits and stuff, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, that was just with the voiceovers period. Like when I was doing like regular ones, I would catch my jokes and other people's stuff. So then that's what made me get a little bit more outrageous.
Okay.
And I did that on purpose to show that I wasn't tripping, because you'd be like, oh, he's stealing my shit, he stole my whole fucking flow. And then you find out you might be tripping. Maybe I'll just think alike. But once I got more outrageous, and I hear you say the same shit, or I hear you starting to say shit in a similar voice or anything with the same delivery, then I'm like, okay, there you go, caught you. So that's all it was. But like I said, it's all good. Like like I said, I want everybody to get on their grind and do their shit. But you know what I'm saying, I'm competitive, because that just comes from the rap world, and so I take that kind of like everywhere with me, and I think it helps me. But it's also like, you don't want to be an asshole, like, you know what I'm saying, like, because it's not, you're not gonna be the complete first and the complete last to do anything. So like you gotta just roll with it. It's either go get better to outshine people, or you gonna sit up there and talk about how you was that motherfucking dude for the rest of your life for that one moment. Like it's like. Yeah, like it's all as long as everybody eating this, it's all good with me at the end of the day.
Now, have you linked in with the king of Duval County, Lil Duval? Have y'all intertwined with anything, something like that?
No. The Lil Duval is I met him a couple times when I was younger, but he don't fucking know who I am.
Okay.
But no, we haven't interacted or worked on anything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it'd be cool to. But
I can actually see him. We need to make that happen. I can actually see him doing a dope voiceover with you.
Yeah, that shit'd be dope. Hell yeah.
We believe on the Global Entry Podcast. We believe in manifesting things. That's gonna happen before the year over with. We're gonna make that happen. Now, when you talk about you talked a little bit about your prep, about you not writing stuff down, those different type of things. You kind of changed that a little bit. How many cartoons do you have to watch a day, bruh, to come up with an idea for something?
It don't really like it's sometimes it's I just choose a clip and I go from there, or sometimes I have an idea.
You just have a million clips downloaded?
No, absolutely not. My phone ain't got that much storage.
Right, so how do you pick these clips? Like, you just know them, like you from seeing them previously, or what?
It's real sporadic. If an idea pop in my head, then I just, if it's a specific idea that pops in my head, then I